Hello and welcome to MC in Focus, Montgomery College's only live newscast. I'm Najwa Ali.
And I'm Ricky Alvarez. Kids may not be able to get their hands on violent video games like Grand Theft Auto and Halo. The Supreme Court will listen to a proposed law that would make it illegal for retail stores to sell violent, mature-rated video games to minors. The law would carry a hefty fine for stores that sell the games. The main argument for the ban is that kids play violent video games tend to show violent tendencies such as aggression and antisocial behavior. They also tend to be desensitized towards violence. While the gaming industry has won similar challenges in the past, this is the most serious one to date. The court will hear arguments for the case this fall.
The Federal Aviation Administration wants to crack down on airlines. It wants to create and enforce policies that will limit cockpit distractions such as laptop use during flights. The FAA's decision responds to the incident involving two Northwest airline pilots who overshot the Minneapolis airport by 150 miles last fall. The FAA says any cockpit distraction can constitute a safety risk. The new policies may ban flight crew from using personal electronic devices in the cockpit. Legislation is still pending on the issue.
Crime rates dropped in Montgomery County last year. The county's crime statistics released last week show the most serious crimes, such as murder and rape, fell nearly 7%. Every area in the county saw a decline except Bethesda. Gary Lee, a professor in criminology and criminal justice at the University of Maryland, said since the Great Depression there has been 7 major economic downturns, and each of them saw an increase in crime except this recession. This finding has surprised most experts. Browsing for books at the Rockville Library may cost you. The County Council proposed to eliminate free parking at the library as a way to adjust to the budget for the new current fiscal year. But Rockville isn't the only library to be affected by this. Bethesda Library will also begin charging for the parking. The County Council is scheduled to approve these changes and more on May 27th. And if passed, they will take effect at the end of this fiscal year on July 1st.
Montgomery County is considering a bill that would allow liquor sales on Sundays. If approved, the sale of liquor should bring in between $1.5 million and $2 million in extra revenue for the county. According to supporters, the proposed bill would help the cash-strapped county to close the $1 billion budget deficit. Councilman Mike Knapp of Germantown supports the proposal. He says it's not taxing anyone, but giving access to a product people already want to buy on Sundays. Currently, spirits such as tequila, whiskey, and vodka can be bought 6 days a week. How you feeling about that one?
I don't know. I think they shouldn't. I mean, it's Sunday. You should just take a break.
Just chill on Sundays?
Take a break from the liquor, guys.
If an emergency happens on campus, you don't have to be the last one to know about it. The Montgomery College alert system can let you be the first to know. Elias Janos has more.
An emergency could happen at any time, leaving you with little time to react. Montgomery College has a system in place, alerting students at its Rockville, Germantown, and Tacoma Park campuses of such an emergency. Robert Worth, director of Montgomery College Alert, explains.
One of the key things that I'm responsible for is to communicate if there's a pending emergency that we anticipate may be happening, or during emergency and after emergency. Communications during that time period to the college community, all the students and employees, and to the news media are absolutely critical. There's no single way to communicate effectively to students and to employees. You need multiple ways, and the college has multiple ways, including from their website for students, to emails, to student accounts and employee accounts, voicemail for employees, the college's response center, which is their main telephone number, and through the media. But one of the ways we use for the most timely response is Montgomery College Alert. What I do is I sign on to the website for Montgomery College Alert, and I would type in that this is a county system, so I want to make sure everyone knows it's coming from Montgomery College and not from the county. I'll say Montgomery College Alert. Then I have an option of typing in a message for emails.
Mr. Worth also has a police scanner, 4 cell phones, and an 800 megahertz radio so he can maintain communications with all 3 campuses.
Make sure everything is correct in the information. You push the button, and within a minute, usually 60 seconds to 90 seconds, 14,000 plus registered users will receive that message. And that is probably the most effective way to get the information out.
Signing up for Alert is easy. Just log on to www.montgomerycollege.edu/alert. If you have a new email or phone, you can update your Montgomery College alert information as well. For MC in Focus, I'm Elias Janos.
Former Poison frontman and reality television star Bret Michaels is in critical but stable condition after suffering a stroke. This type of stroke is called a subarachnoid hemorrhage, causing bleeding in the fluid-filled spaces around the base of the brain. A side effect of the stroke causes Michaels to have seizures. Despite this, doctors say that Michaels is responding well to tests, and they have hope for full recovery. The Celebrity Apprentice contestant will remain under 24-hour surveillance in the ICU. Can a migraine change the way you talk? Well, that's exactly what happened to Sarah Caldwell, a 35-year-old woman from England. Caldwell commonly suffers from migraines, but an extreme headache is what caused her to call an ambulance. When waking up at the hospital, she was surprised by her own voice, sounding more like someone who grew up in China rather than England. Caldwell says she never had been to China and that her voice is unrecognizable to friends and family. She was diagnosed with foreign accent syndrome, and doctors are unsure if her natural voice will ever return.
That's kind of crazy.
Can you imagine that, waking up with a weird accent?
Not really. Like, if you had to pick an accent, which one would you wake up with?
I'd be a Scottish guy.
Scottish?
Yeah.
I think I'd go Jamaican. I'm kind of down with the Caribbeans. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these student-produced commercials.
Paren, miren, escuchen. ¿Sabían que cada año más y más latinos sufren heridas causadas por accidentes peatonales? Por favor, asegúrense de cruzar la calle con cuidado. Usen el paso de peatones para cruzar. Caminen solamente cuando está alumbrada la señal de caminar. Solamente basta una tragedia para cambiar una familia entera. Paren, miren, escuchen.
Do you love nature? Do you want to see it clean? So stop throwing out garbage on the streets. If you do it, others are gonna do it too. Teach your family and the person that you love how to take care of the nature. Take care of our environment. Help others to understand that throwing out garbage on the streets is not making any good to the environment. Would you like someone throw out garbage on your face? I don't think so. If you see any garbage on the streets, be nice and take it to the wastebasket. Do the right thing.
Welcome to this week's Community Calendar. Dr. Alan Lichtman, an American University professor and political historian, will speak on Tuesday, May 4th at 7 p.m. on the Rockville campus. It's free and open to the public. The event will be held in the Technical Center, room 136. The Germantown campus will be holding the All Media Student Show. It will showcase students' works from all three campuses. The show will run through May 7th in the Globe Hall atrium from 3 to 5 p.m. At Tacoma Park, you can check out the Transmuting Craft. This exhibit features the works of ceramic and glass artists who use these crafts to make three-dimensional art. This event runs until May 10th. For more information, call 240-567-1368. Local youth may soon be introduced to a new media program in Tacoma Park. The Tacoma Park Communications and Recreation Departments have teamed up to create a new program. The program would introduce kids to the broadcasting industry through media classes and workshops. Video production manager Alvaro Calabria says the goal of the program is to teach kids and teens how to use audio and visual technology in a positive way. The City Council is still reviewing the program proposal.
And spring is in full effect this weekend with temperatures expected to reach the high 80s. Today's forecast will be sunny with a high of 83 and lows in the 63 degrees. No chance of rain during the day, but we could see some overnight showers. Tomorrow brings part of the cloudy skies and again a 20% chance of rainfall in the evening. It should be a pleasant day with highs in the mid-80s and lows just below 70. Sunday might get a little wet with 30% chance of rain and isolated thunderstorms, but it should stay nice and warm with highs in the 80s and lows in the 60s. Enjoy this weekend's warm because next week it's cooling down. And now let's take it over to Luke Ciapetta with sports. How you doing today, Luke?
Pretty good. Thanks, Ricky.
So what are the news today in the sports?
Well, the exciting world of sports. First, we'll do a local story. Montgomery College, Germantown's baseball team, the Griffins, recovered from last week's losses to thoroughly thrash opponent Prince George's Community College 12-1 and 16-1. Matt Miller and Brian Brousseau led the team with 3 runs and 6 strikeouts respectively. The Griffins then took on Cecil College for a tough doubleheader, both teams winning 1 game apiece. Come check out the team and show your support tomorrow as they take on Essex College from 12 to 6 and then Delaware Tech from 12 to 4 on Sunday. The Capitals will have to end their season earlier than expected this year, despite earning an exciting record of 54 wins, 15 losses, and only 13 ties. The Washington area home team was defeated in Game 7 at the conclusion of the first-round playoff series against the Montreal Canadiens, who are now the first number 8 seeded team in NHL history to stage a comeback from 3-1 down in a series against a number 1 seeded team. UFC fans can get excited as this year's Ultimate Fighting Championship rolls along, with Team Liddell winning yet another bout, bringing the tally up to 5-1. This season's finale will be June 19th, wherein we'll get to see the 3rd fight between the 2 coaches, both veteran fighters, Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell. After a long delay from injuries and schedule conflicts, the coaches from last year's series, both former world champions, Quinton Rampage Jackson and Rashad Evans, will finally meet in the octagon May 29th. Tiger Woods' woes are far from cooling off as he is in for some more tough press. Struggling in the Quail Hollow Championship, he's currently tied for 88th place and well above par. But that's not all he has to worry about. Thanks to D-Dub Software, Woods is now the star of the soon-to-be-released game, Tiger Woods Affair Tour 2010. The first game of the NBA semifinals kicks off with Boston playing Cleveland tomorrow on TNT. Orlando Magic thoroughly defeated the Bobcats 4-0 and will move ahead, along with Phoenix, San Antonio, Cleveland, and Boston. That's all for sports. I'm Luke Ciapetta.
Wow, so you think they're gonna put that video game on the video game ban list?
That's most definitely going on the ban list.
I would think so.
I kind of can't wait till that game comes out. Can't wait to see their rating on that one. That's going to be funny. Animal lovers can rescue pets and show their support for a new stamp at the same time. The new Animal Rescue Adopt a Shelter pet commemorative stamps will be unveiled tomorrow at the Detroit Zoo. The stamps feature cats and dogs adopted from shelters and were created to encourage pet adoption and promote humane and responsible pet care. Hundreds of adoptable dogs, cats, puppies, and kittens will be available from more than 20 rescue organizations and shelters. This was a favorite charity of Professor Norris, whom we have dedicated our program to this semester.
That's all for today's show. Thank you for watching MC in Focus. I'm Ricky Alvarez.
And I'm Najwa Ali. Join us next week for more top stories.